Hi. So welcome to the upgrade. I'm Megan. As promised, the updated tea about how life is going after finishing up and wrapping up this car quantum leap upgrade experiment. So I got my car back 2 weeks ago, and in that time, a couple of really interesting things have happened. So as soon as I got my car back, I cried in the car, missing it so much. It was like having an old friend come back. And it was beautiful to like have that energy and knowing that I was safe and excited to move forward in that capacity with that, right? Because as soon as that like Mercedes left, I'm like, okay, well, if I don't have this, it's like, oh, my blankie. But then I'm like, wait, but is my Land Rover my safety blanket? Like, where's the safety? Like, being able to make that transition, it just felt so much like coming home in such a good way that we had both had almost like a bit of a facelift. Like, my car had a BBL essentially, and I had an upgrade. So like when we both met each other, it's like, oh my God, what happened to you? Like, oh my God, I love your new butt. It looks so great. I'm so happy that you're back. Were they so nice to you? Which they were. And be like, oh my God, what's new with you, girl? It's like, girl, I've got to tell you what I did. I recorded everything. And I very much have like this energetic connection with my car. I call her Blackberry. And we're very good friends. Like, she takes very good care of us. I'm trying to take such good care of her and have this promise to be able to do better. And in these 2 weeks, I've really noticed how I'm like kind of slipping back into not necessarily old habits, but not pushing. I've like plateaued again, essentially, I guess is what happened. And I'm ready for like this new push again. So the day I got that car back, my check finally cleared, like 5 days longer than it should have taken, and was able to send rent in, no problem. And just like, I cried like I'd never cried before, but it felt like the last cry. And I'm like, it's just like releasing all the shame and like holding on so energetically tightly to a result for such a long time, working so hard without feeling like I was having an achievable, tangible result that was positive. I cried all that night and like all the next day, and I just let myself be like really sad. Like you've seen me crash out now multiple times. But that one was like a big one. I think it was still being really sad about that realization that I had shoveling the driveway. I think I've worked on it so much now, and I've done so much EFT tapping and using the emotion code by Dr. Bradley Nelson to be able to clear my emotions, that like going back, like I don't even have anywhere to go back to because I've cleared it so much. It's just like, I just remember being it a very like, oh my gosh, this is what I've allowed to happen this whole time. And now that's not happening anymore. And even in just those couple days, I've had such an energy shift in it, in my emotions. I'm not reacting in that same way. I'm not even thinking really in that capacity. And I think these 2 weeks have really allowed me to plateau in a good way, that I've been able to normalize new actions, new behaviors, new thinking. I've been working lots because my calendar's full from this time, and have still been keeping up my writing. And I think that's incredible. The last couple of days, I was really tired for 3 or 4 days, even though I was sleeping really well. And now I'm sleeping like shit, but my energy to like follow through on this new level feels very similar to those first couple of days, like in the car. Being like, I'm doing things that I've been putting off the kind of last couple weeks. I'm still looking at like the couple projects that need to be done. I need to but like my energy's forward moving. I've put out this podcast. I've preloaded all the content. I've launched a new course at my work for like in-person stuff. I hosted an in-person event. I've still been doing stuff, but I just feel like this is a perfect opportunity for me to realign with things. So my work is still very like busier than it ever has been. I am still on track to not only have the most appointments this month, but also to make the most money that I have this month, since starting at the clinic since like September. So like at that 6-month mark. My entire family is booked to go on an all-inclusive trip to Mexico. So my parents and my two younger brothers and myself and their partners, and all the kids were all going on a holiday together. And I'm excited to actually do a little quantum leap experiment in that time. And so that has given us like amazing energy to look forward to. And now it's just a matter of like, I have to replicate these results. So this is what I've been thinking about the last couple of days. It's like, well, how do I replicate it? As I rewatch these videos, as I load them up into Spotify, into YouTube, that's like, what did I do that I can replicate? Because yes, I talk a lot about it, but like, what's the tangible action that I've taken? What have I done? So I'm going to be doing that from here on in, knowing that we're all watching this unfold like a couple weeks later. So there's a bit of a time delay, knowing that you're still going to get all the information that you want. I very much am in what feels like uncharted waters as things start to get really good. I have been noticing my thoughts wanting to go to, well, this and this and this. Like, well, we still don't have enough money, and it's like, we still don't have this. And I'm like, yeah, but like, it's totally fine. And like, it's more of a conversation instead of just like a one-track negativity train to no Funsville versus like, hey, but we also have this beautiful scenic route that we can take, and we have nothing but hope for our future, which is a beautiful place to kind of like relax into without feeling like the shoe's gonna drop all the time. That's the feeling that I'm working on now and expanding into that. I've really noticed in the last 2 days how there's a part of me that always wants to do something new because it gives me like that dopamine hit. Like, oh, if I try this new thing, if I try this, if I sign up for this, then it's like, that's something new that like I'm chasing, that like fix me high, knowing that no, really what I have to just do is like replicate these results. So what I have planned very much supports already what I'm doing, being able to take an EFT tapping class, being able to take, I signed up for like a visualization, like journaling session class, and just being able to like reinforce the decisions that I've already made instead of having external decisions dictate what it is that I'm doing. Because it's like, as a generator in human design, my job, my telling system, my yes, no, is being able to respond to what comes to me. But I like it because I feel like I'm creating this response already by asking myself a different set of questions. And then what's coming to me is actually like validating, is like, no, that doesn't feel right. I'm like doing that to like chase that dopamine high of fixing something, versus like, yeah, that feels like really good. That totally supplements what I want to do and what I'm doing. Versus just sitting around stressing out for my check to clear all the time, trying to like scramble to bring stuff to me to be able to respond to. So it's definitely a shift. I noticed that big time with stuff. I feel it also came up. I feel adultier than I have. I think there's a lot of it. I think millennials, this is kind of like our thing, that there's an area of life that we don't want to grow up in. And we have to choose to like, it's time for us to grow up now. And like, we're the adult, like the older generation is like doing their thing and the younger generation is doing their thing. And I think that our generation is really being called into a form of leadership. How do we want things to go from here? How can we take these lessons that we've learned from our elders, being able to implement them in a way that's not only better for us, but that's better for the younger generations, which is that whole matriarchy, is being able to like community focus youth and children and using all of our strengths together, right? And finishing up what feels like a hard, intense season of receiving. I really, at the end of that car quantum leap, had to lean into that receiving feeling and just like complete surrender. I think that's kind of why it felt like the last cry too, because it was just like a total let go, emotionally, mentally, and energetically, even physically, of whatever I was holding on to, and a bit of a rebirth. And it's been really good since then. I think because I've been able to let myself feel my emotions, I've been able to validate where it is that I want to go. There has been a lot of me, and I noticed this about myself, that as my work's been getting really good, I'm like, oh, maybe I should get like a part-time job, because like, or a full-time job even, because what if things don't stay this way? And I feel also that there's like this part of me that have to be responsible enough to actually even consider it. So signing up for, and just hear me out, signing up for Indeed placement ads of like what I am qualified to do, what fits in the parameters of what I am. And instead of having like every day I get an email alert, and for the first couple of days I'm like, oh, I had this dream that I got a job, and my family's like, how is it? I'm like, I hate it. It's killing me. And there's a lot of me that knows that like if I sign up for one corporate job, that it like, yeah, like that's gonna kill me. Why would I do all this work and have all this success and then go back to that? Knowing too that I am also allowed to find a way to be able to bridge gaps if I feel like I need to be supported that way. But then also being able to use those alerts and stuff that come in. It's like, if required, the perfect job is going to be coming to me. But instead of having these emails come in, invoke a sense of shame and of failure, which was like the whole quantum leap experiment, was like ridding myself of that feeling, cleansing myself of that feeling like failure, is to be able to like, this is just showing me how much I do actually want this. And it pushes me. And like every time I get that in, I'm like, well, I don't want to do that, but so I'm going to do this. And it's making me make bigger moves more instantaneously than if I was to maybe like sit on them. So it's like being able to like post in a certain group, or hang a poster up in a workshop, or like in a coffee shop about the workshop, or even hold the workshop, that I'm like, no, it makes the decision for the not even just the decision, it makes the follow through easier, knowing that like it's this or that. Like, I don't want that. I want this. So I love that kind of like form of like accountability. Just keep showing me what it is that I want. I'm still seriously considering it, to be able to like have this life of ease and support in whatever capacity that it may be, knowing that I totally trust like whatever's going to come up, and that I can handle all of it. And I think that that's like the part of me too that's really stepped up into the adulthood part of, I'm like, no, like we're not kids anymore. Like, I'm over 40. We need to have a good time with this. And being able to brace it and really own the level of leadership and responsibility that comes with that. It actually feels really quite settled, and I don't feel resentful for it. I'm like, no, like this is, and I think this is that feeling that like no one's coming to save you. It's like, I'm saving me, which essentially is that lottery ticket winning feeling, right? Like, you're saved, you have limitless everything. Like, what do you want to do? But I feel that way now, that I'm like, I am saved. I did it. And I do have limitless potential of the possibility of everything that could happen. Maybe not in the way that I thought it was going to, like most things, because the universe is such a joker. But it's like, I'm still receiving that. And I think that's the thing too, is how gratitude is such a key for receiving, and being able to take that to the next level and keep it at the next level. Being able to be grateful for that 3 weeks and the lessons that it taught me, being able to be grateful to myself for always returning back to myself with that, being able to teach and show that there can be something different, and that we're all craving such a human and connected experience right now. I think after being isolated for such a long time, that it's time to come back into community and come back into shared experiences in a way that feels like it adheres to our boundaries and is with like-minded people. And even if we're a little bit different, that it's still a safe place to be a little bit different, and being able to be exposed to new realities and different things. And I just feel so much forward momentum into a new level of life. I do feel like all of my friendships have changed. And I feel like my friends are going to listen to this and be like, oh my God, is that me? And I don't think it's like anything like I'm sure they'd notice it, because everybody's like fairly intuitive. I've had a couple friends like not, it feels like God, I stated this was an intention, I think one day, it's like for anybody that's not meant to be in my life to be removed from it, and they are, and not in a way that's bad or I wish them ill. And if I were to see them again, I'd still be like very happy. Like they're still my friends, but it's just like not at the same level. And this all also feels like it's starting to make some moves towards potentially finding a partner again. That's a huge part of my heart wall that comes with money and with work and with life, is that have been afraid of owning what it is that I desire, not only with like owning our own home, but like what that looks like with potentially somebody else, or am I stopping that from happening because I don't want somebody else to come in and wreck it because our life is so awesome now, knowing that it can just get even awesomer with that. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, is healing like the relationship side. Oh, excuse me, as I like want to barf. I was like, oh, do we really want to do this? I'm like, we all learn incredibly through relationship, and whether that's through a best friend or a new mentor or a partner or a lover, like whatever it may be, that this is like the new kind of expansion for it. We do have that like trip coming up, and I always have this idea of having that meet cute on the plane, but also like being able to use that portal of the trip as an opener to like be relaxed enough to receive safety that way, right? So it's like spending the month focusing on that and keep replicating these results, not only with work, which was like, those fucking bananas, man. I go from like 6 appointments a month to like 25. That's wild. In a week? Oh, so good. I'm like, yeah, I did. But now I'm like, hey, well, where else could we do that? So like, that's what I'm gonna work on. Keep it up with work. Keep it up with love and the potential of it. And still like really giving myself permission to expand. I think that was like the whole thing. That was the biggest thing after rewatching everything to like load up for us all to enjoy together, is that I stopped looking for the external. And I did it internal. What do I want? What do I want to do? How does this want to feel? What am I being guided to? And it's service. How can I help people? How can I help my children? How can I help my family? And how can I help myself? What is it that I desire? And how they're also threaded in such an incredible way. And how we can share how it goes on. I have no idea the consistency of the following podcasts, if I'm going to end up doing one every single day as we go through replicating this, which might be fun, but I'm like, that's also like, is that a lot? Is that too much for a podcast? I'm like, what is this going to help people? Is this going to be exciting? Is this going to be helpful? Yeah, so maybe it is every day. I think we're going to stop at place. I need to find a way to hook up my phone. And I think that's why it was so good too, is because I made it really easy. If I can find a phone holder for my car, I can do it on school pickup, which has me be reviewing at that time and making that plan. And I love that like end of day, start of night intention setting to really keep the momentum moving. And I think that's like a huge key, because I don't have anybody to talk to about that. Like my kids get home and we check in with them and it's about them, but they're not like, oh, how's your day? How's your quantum car leap experiment going? Have you had any past memories come up? We don't like, we talk like that, but like not every day. Like it's not like, how was your work day today? Like they're teenagers, they're focused as they should be on their own stuff. So I think I love being able to have like that conversation and get it once it's out of my brain. And like, I don't know, I can hear it, I can see it, I can see the change. So, okay, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go pick up my teenager. We'll stop and get a car thing and a couple other things for some birthdays coming up. And we're just gonna get excited because life continues to be good, because it's this or something better.